Hello and welcome to WQLN PBS Homeroom. I'm Miss Heather and this is Twiggle, and it's so great to see you again. Look at all the beautiful flowers that I brought today. You know why I brought these beautiful spring flowers today? You want to smell them? Okay. Oh, they're so beautiful, aren't they? Spring flowers will be coming soon when spring comes. We're in winter right now. And spring is going to come next. Actually, it's coming March 20th. That's in a few weeks, but we're going to talk about that later, okay? I just wanted to tell you, I'm so glad to see you again. And you know what? I love teaching preschool because I like when my friends come to school and they learn to be such good friends and they learn to be kind. And when they're here, we treat each other, oh, thank you. We treat each other with kindness and we treat each other like a school family. And when you're with me today and with Twiggle, I'm hoping that you will feel like part of our school family too. Don't you? Me too. I can't wait to talk to you about spring today. We're going to talk about how different our town looks in Pennsylvania when spring comes. Are you ready to talk about it? Good, me too. Can I put you down though? How about if I put you near the flowers so you can still smell them, okay? Okay. I wanted to talk about all the different things that happen in our town when springtime comes. Now, where we live in Pennsylvania, springtime still can have, our town can still look like it has a lot of snow, okay? It still snows in Pennsylvania in the spring, but it does go away. And then all of a sudden, our town starts to get leaves back on their trees, and little flowers start coming up, and all kinds of changes happen in our town. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all the things that are different in our town when spring comes, okay? So I wanted to show you up here. Let's see, make sure you can see this. For winter is where we are right now, okay? It's snowy and cold. Some days are kind of warm, but not very. After winter comes spring. That's what's going to come next. Then it gets to be summer where it's super duper hot, and then it's fall. And fall is when those beautiful leaves come on our trees and they fall on the ground. But today we're going to talk about spring, and that's what's happening next. I was looking to see March 20th, so it's just in a few weeks, but it might still look like winter, okay, for just a little while. So in the springtime, these are some things that we might see, okay? We might see a lot of rain. We do see a lot of rain. It rains a lot in the springtime because it has to help the leaves grow and the flowers grow. Sometimes it's warm enough that you can go outside in a short sleeve shirt. Sometimes. Look at, she's actually watering her spring flowers. Sometimes it does, but guess what? Sometimes, look what it does in the spring. Sometimes we still have to wear our winter clothes and can make snowmen. Where we live in Pennsylvania, it can do both of these things. Some days will be warm, some days will be cold. Now let's see what else happens next. The next thing I want us to look at are all the different things that we wear in the spring, because sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's a warm day. So sometimes in the spring, we will still have to wear our hat and our warm gloves and boots and coats in the spring. Sometimes it might be a little warmer and it won't snow, it will rain. And you'll have to have your umbrella and your rain hat and your raincoat and your rain boots. Sometimes in the spring where we live, you might have to wear this one day and wear this the next day. It's just so silly, isn't it? Just so silly. Then sometimes all you need is a sweatshirt outside. today it's winter, and do you know how warm it got here at my school? It got to 50 degrees today, and it's winter. So spring is sometimes warm and sometimes cold where we live. The other thing I wanted to show you is we're gonna see a lot of different stuff in the spring, stuff that I get so excited about. If you can tell, I love flowers. I love spring flowers. And you know what else I found? Look at this. I found a bird's nest. It's not real, but it looks real, and my class loves it. But pretty soon we're gonna start seeing birds coming back, because you know what? Not very many birds stay here in the winter. Some do, but not all of them. But the robins will be coming back and laying their beautiful blue eggs, and their babies will be born. And we're gonna start seeing all these beautiful flowers. But there's other things we're gonna see too. Are you ready? I'll show you. First, you're gonna probably start seeing a lot of little caterpillars. Okay, caterpillars start to come out when it gets a little bit warmer outside. And guess what? In the springtime, you will start to see butterflies because caterpillars turn into butterflies. It's amazing in the spring. That's an amazing thing. You're gonna start seeing more bicycles because it's warmer outside and there's not gonna be as much snow on the sidewalks or on the road. So you'll be able to ride bikes because it's gonna get a little warmer. So when you're looking around your town, there's gonna be more people outside riding bikes. Oh, this is one. Look what else happens. The grass starts to grow. In the wintertime, it's so cold that we don't even have to mow our lawn, do we? But in the springtime, when it starts to get a little bit warmer and it's raining more, the grass will start to grow and people are gonna have to go out there and mow their lawn more. So that's something that will happen in the spring. Another thing in the spring, which I think is so amazing, is people will start to plant gardens. They'll plant seeds, and under the ground, the carrots will grow. On top of the ground, there'll be lettuce, but you gotta plant it early when it starts to get warm out, so in the summertime, you'll have your own vegetable gardens. Maybe you'll have a chance to do that in the spring. That's something that you can do in the spring. The leaves start coming on the trees. See, look at right now, so many of our trees outside don't have any leaves, none. But guess what? In the springtime, when it starts to get warm and the sun is shining more and it rains, the leaves will start coming back. It's amazing. In the spring, we finally get our beautiful leaves back. Here is that nest. You're gonna start seeing more of the nest. Remember, I showed you my nest right here. The birds come and lay their eggs, and the baby birds are gonna be born in the spring. You're gonna start seeing robins. There's not any robins here right now, but they will come back in the spring. They fly back to Pennsylvania in the spring. They have a beautiful orange belly, and they lay the beautiful blue eggs. They're so pretty, and they have babies. That's something else you're gonna see in the spring in your town, or more birds and more robins. Here's the part I love. You're gonna see more beautiful spring flowers. They'll start peeking out of the ground as soon as it starts to get warm. You're gonna start seeing these pretty flowers. They don't like the cold, but as soon as we have a nice day, they're gonna start peeking out of the ground. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to do this, but this is something that's really fun to do in the spring because we have a lot of windy days in the spring. You could fly a kite. That is something so fun to do in the springtime, is to fly a kite. And the last thing I put on, because you know what? I am a big fan of it. Baseball and softball comes back in the spring. You're gonna start seeing people and kids outside playing baseball and softball. That always feels like spring to me too. I love that. So there's so many things that happen in the spring that's gonna look different in your town. It's amazing. I also, oh, you know what else? When it starts to get warmer out and the sun is shining, and the leaves start coming on the trees and the flowers start coming up, guess what? There's new smells. Spring has a smell. Spring smells like flowers outside. It does. These flowers smell so good. But there's no flowers outside right now because there's snow. So I don't have that pretty smell. But when the flowers grow in the springtime, we're gonna have beautiful smelling flowers. Guess what else? The grass. Have you ever smelled grass before when somebody's cutting the grass? It smells like spring. And the last one, this one's kind of yucky, but it's very muddy. That is mud. It is very muddy in Pennsylvania in our towns in the spring because it rains so much. And mud has a smell. Mud smells kind of like dirt, like wet dirt. That's what it is. And spring will start to smell like mud and grass and flowers. There's just so many different things that you're going to see and smell, and it's a beautiful time of the year, spring is. So sometimes we'll have snow. Sometimes we'll still have to put on our winter coats, but sometimes it'll be a nice warm day where you can go out in just a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. That's what I love about spring. Today, we are going to make something pretty cool for our home activity. Let me show you. Hi guys, today we are going to make a butterfly. Butterflies remind me so much of spring, and I thought that it would be really cool to make a butterfly. Now I'm going to tell you what we need. Not very much stuff. We're going to need washable markers, a coffee filter. It can be any size at all. I have just a round one, okay? So you're gonna need a coffee filter. You're gonna need pipe cleaners and a spray bottle. If you don't, it's just gonna have water in it. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can always just put drops and stuff. Maybe even with a little cup of water, you could put some drops on it. Let me show you what we're gonna do. And remember, if you can't remember how to do this, you can go to our home learning page on WQLN on my day. I think this will be on a Thursday, so you can check it out, okay? So let me show you what we're gonna do. I would put a paper towel behind it, okay? Just so that you guys can see what I'm doing, I'm gonna hang it up here. You don't have to hang it up at your house. You can just do it on your counter. But I'm gonna hang it up so you can see what we're doing. So I opened up the coffee filter. Now the rest is whatever you want to do. The brighter the colors, the better, okay? And you can fill this up with as many beautiful designs as you want. You can put, I'm gonna put some polka dots all over here. I'm gonna get this was purple, so I'm gonna try maybe some green. And I'm gonna put some lines over here. Maybe put some lines in here. You can do it however you want. You're the artist, and you can do it however you want to. I'm gonna put some red dots in here. You can do it however you want. There's no right or wrong way. That's the great thing about being an artist. You can do whatever you want. You can make your own creation. I think I'll put a yellow line going around the coffee filter. Maybe put some yellow lines in here too. I think I better use some orange. I love orange. Let's put some orange lines in here. So you're just making a beautiful design, okay, on the coffee filter. Now, you know what? I'm gonna add blue. The more color you have, the better and more colorful it's going to be, okay? So, here's what I got so far. If you see, I did some pretty bright colors, okay? Then, when you're all done, and you can fill the whole thing up if you want to. If you want to color this whole thing, that would be amazing. But when you're all done, you get your spray bottle, okay? I might do this sitting down. I'll show it to you in just a second. And I'm gonna spray my coffee filter. I'm gonna spray it and spray it and spray it. And because they're washable markers, the colors will blend and run. So let me show you what this looks like. Isn't it looking pretty? I think it's really pretty. It looks like a tie-dye kinda, doesn't it? So after it dries, and it doesn't take very long to dry, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Mine isn't dry yet, but I'm still gonna show you. I'm gonna choose a pipe cleaner, okay? And I'm gonna pick up my coffee filter. Look how pretty it looks, doesn't it? And I'm going to, right in the middle, I'm going to pinch it together, okay? See that? And I'm gonna put this pipe cleaner right in the middle to pinch it and make it so that it stays in the middle. So it stays, so it looks like a butterfly. Do you see that? And these are gonna be the antennas. Isn't that cute? And I'm gonna curl them. And look at what I made. Now when it dries, this paper is gonna be hard again. So you'll be able to open its wings really big. Let me hang this up here so you have a chance to see it. Look at how pretty that is. You can make lots of them. In my class, do you know what we do? We all make a few of these, and then we hang them all around our room, and it looks like spring in our room because butterflies. Remember, first a butterfly is a caterpillar and it turns into this beautiful butterfly, and it happens in the springtime, and it's so beautiful. I hope you get a chance to make one of these. You can make a lot of them. And then maybe you could even give it to a friend or someone in your family. I think it's pretty cool. I hope you give it a try. I have the best story for you guys today. Did you guys even have a chance to see these beautiful flowers behind me? They're tulips. They're just like these. They're spring flowers. Aren't they so pretty? Today, my book is right here. It's called The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. He's one of my favorite authors. He's the author and the illustrator. You're gonna love his pictures, they're beautiful. And this is a story about what happens to a tiny seed when it goes through all of these seasons. It also talks about what it does in spring. Are you ready? Here we go. It is autumn, that means fall. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So seeds come out of these little flowers and they blow in the wind. That's what's happening to this little seed. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. I wonder what's going to happen to it. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow, and the rest of the seeds fly on. But this tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. He's going to go on that tall mountain. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. A little tiny seed is going on quite an adventure, isn't it? One seed drifts down onto the desert. Wow, now they're in the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So now it's at the desert. It was at the mountain, now it's at the desert. Oh no, wait till you see this. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It's so small that the bird did not see it. So the bird ate one of the seeds, but not the tiny seed. Phew. Now it is winter. Oh, it's winter, okay. After their long trip, the seeds settle down and they look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. So see, there's a little mouse down here eating the seeds, but he does not eat the tiny seed. Oh, that tiny seed's so lucky. Now it is spring, like we've been talking about today. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, all these things we talked about today. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they're not seeds anymore, they're plants. First, they send roots down into the earth, then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Wow. It's been on quite the adventure, hasn't it? Thank goodness he didn't get eaten by that bird. Oh no. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime, just like we talked about. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and oh no, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. He stepped on one. I'm sure it was an accident. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is still growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. Holy cow. Where's the little one? But our little seed is still growing very slowly. But what is happening? First there's footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. Somebody picked the other flower. There's the tiny seed though. The tiny seed's still growing. Nobody picked that one yet. Whew. Thank goodness, huh? A boy has picked a flower to give to a friend. I love that. That's so kind. Okay, now it's summer. Remember, that comes after spring. Now that tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. Wait till you see it. Are you ready? It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has so many leaves and it grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Look what happened to that tiny little seed. It turned into a beautiful giant flower. It's so pretty. You ready for this picture? You're gonna love it. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting, and they have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. In the springtime, it was so little. Look how much it's grown. All of the creatures are loving it. The butterflies and the birds, and the bees. Now let's see what happens. Now it's fall again. The days are growing shorter and it's starting to get cold, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. So they're losing the leaves on the trees. Some petals start to drop off the flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. See that? It's starting to lose their pretty petals. The wind starts to blow harder, and the flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind gets so strong and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower seed pod opens up, and out come many seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. So just like what happened at the beginning of the story, the seeds now are falling and going in the air and going on another adventure. The end. So at the very end here, when the seeds are flying in the air again, what do you think is going to happen to them? I think that those seeds are going to go on another adventure, just like they did in this story, how they went to the mountains and they went to the desert and they went and landed on the ground, and the birds ate some. And I think that tiny seed might turn into another beautiful flower when springtime comes again. Isn't that beautiful? I love that story, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. We have had so much fun today. Hi, honey. It's good to see you. We've had so much fun today. Thank you. You're so sweet. We had so much fun today. We learned about all the different things we're going to see in our town when springtime comes. It's going to be here soon. It is. We're going to start seeing flowers, and the grass will start growing, and it'll get warmer outside. We can get outside and ride bikes, play baseball or softball, see butterflies and fly kites. It's going to be so fun. Then we made a beautiful butterfly. I hope you have a chance to make that out of the coffee filter and the washable markers and spray it. It was so pretty, wasn't it? I can't wait till we do that in our class. I like when we have all kinds of them, don't you? I know, me too. And then we read a beautiful story called The Tiny Seed. And you know what? Pretty soon, these tiny seeds are going to be growing in our town, and there's going to be beautiful flowers growing. I can't wait. Just like all these pretty flowers that I brought with us today. I can't wait till they're growing in our yard. Can you? I can't wait either. I hope you guys had a great day today with us. I had so much fun talking about spring. I love spring. And I hope that you felt like part of our school family while you were here with us today. I'll bet they did. What do you think? I bet they did. I hope that you guys have a great week, and I hope that you keep reading and keep learning and keep watching WQLN PBS, where learning is brought to life. Have a great day, everybody. Till we see you again. Bye.